Imagine there's a verse in the Bible that not only confirms manifestation is real, but also gives you the spiritual formula for receiving what you desire. Most people have never heard this interpretation. Few understand the hidden code within it. Today, I'll show you, in light of the Word and the principles Eva Hartley teaches, how this verse connects faith, energy, and action in a way that transforms your life. So, stay with me until the end, because in the final section, I'll reveal the detail that unites the Bible, the law of attraction, and vibrational science. And when you grasp it, nothing will remain impossible for you. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He shall give you the desires of your heart. This is not merely a verse to memorize, it is a spiritual formula. The word delight here is the key. It signifies finding such profound pleasure, peace, and trust in God that your vibration becomes a reflection of what you wish to receive. The text does not say, He may grant or He might grant, but He shall give. It is a promise, a certainty. Every time you recall this verse, think of it as the signature on a divine contract, already signed and sealed in the spiritual realm, merely awaiting your alignment of frequency for the invisible to become visible. Delighting in the Lord is akin to living as if the promise has already been fulfilled. It is to smile before seeing, to give thanks before touching. Neuroscience confirms that when you experience pleasure and gratitude, you activate areas of the brain linked to creativity, clarity, and problem solving. This implies that faith is not merely blind belief, it is a mental and emotional state that mobilizes internal and external resources. The more you resonate with the state of what you desire, the more signals you send to the universe for it to manifest in your life. Now I ask you, how many times have you prayed or asked for something, yet continued to speak, think, and feel as if it were still out of reach? That is the trap that hinders your manifestation. When you maintain the vibration of absence, you reinforce within the quantum field the notion that it hasn't arrived yet. The delight that Psalm 37:4 mentions is precisely the antithesis of this. It is to assume, vibrate, and feel as if it were already a reality. It is to walk in certainty, not in lack. Eva Hartley refers to it as vibrational identity, the Bible calls it. Walking by faith and not by sight, 2 Corinthians 5:7. And quantum physics describes it as the act of collapsing the wave function. These are distinct terminologies for the same eternal truth. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. When you delight in the Lord, you attune yourself to the vibrational frequency of your miracle, thereby creating such precise alignment that manifestation becomes inevitable. There's a nuance that few grasp. The verse doesn't state, He may grant, or He might grant. It declares, He will grant. It's an assertion, an unequivocal promise. However, observe that the crux lies not in desire, but in delight. If your focus is solely on receiving, you cultivate anxiety. But if it's on delighting, you enter into rest. And it is in this vibrational rest that blessings arrive effortlessly, in perfect timing, and with fluid grace. Today, I want to propose a simple practice. Close your eyes and visualize yourself already living what you desire. Imagine the details, the setting, the sensations. Feel the joy, gratitude, and peace of it now, as if it were present and not future. While holding this image, thank God not for what is to come, but for what already exists on the spiritual plane. Do this for at least 2 minutes, and notice how your energy changes immediately. When this practice becomes daily, You cease to force manifestation and begin to flow with it. Opportunities, the right people, and answers start to align naturally. You are not merely asking, you are becoming. And here is the bombshell revelation that almost no one shares. If you don't learn to revel in the process, even if the desire arrives, it won't remain. Because manifestation is sustained by the vibration that created it, not solely by the act of receiving it. In the first topic, we discussed delighting in the Lord as the key to manifestation. Now let us delve into a second stratum, spiritual physics. The Bible states in Hebrews 11:1 that faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. This precisely mirrors what quantum physics describes. Reality exists in potential before it becomes manifest. Eva Hartley asserts that when you reside in a state of fulfilled desire, you are dispatching an irresistible energetic command to the universe. Understand this: the visible world is merely a reflection of a far vaster, unseen realm. Things do not appear from thin air. Rather, they collapse from a field of infinite possibilities known as the quantum field. And here's the crucial point. Your faith, your emotion, and your focus act as the trigger that transmutes potential into tangible matter. When you maintain thoughts and feelings aligned with your desires, you are literally molding the very fabric of reality to manifest in your experience. Now I ask you, how many times have you stopped to realize that your words and thoughts are creative energy? Proverbs 18:21 states, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." This means that every time you declare something, you are registering an order for the universe in your vibrational field. And when that order is repeated, felt, and sustained, it becomes inevitable. You are not merely asking, you are encoding reality. Quantum physics has already demonstrated that the observer influences the outcome of an experiment. This implies that your perception alters the behavior of reality. It is for this reason that Jesus stated, "If you believe, you will see the glory of God." John 11:40. You perceive it after you believe, not before. Eva Hartley translates this into practical terms. Live as if it were true now, and life will respond on the same frequency. This is not theory. It is a spiritual and scientific law. If you desire prosperity, you cannot live and act like someone experiencing scarcity. If you desire love, you cannot position yourself vibrationally as someone unworthy. This internal incoherence obstructs the flow of manifestation. Psalm 37:4 already taught us that the vibration of joy and gratitude is the key. Spiritual physics merely explains the mechanism. Where there is vibrational coherence, there is a collapse of the desired reality. Where there is incoherence, there is delay. Today's practice: before sleeping, close your eyes and visualize the movie of your transformed life. Engage all your senses. See, hear, feel, touch until it feels real. Then give thanks to God as if you had just received it. This simple practice builds a vibrational bridge between what is and what will be. It's akin to tuning into a radio frequency. You don't force the music to play. You simply align with the correct channel. And here is the bombshell revelation. It's not time that creates manifestation, it's frequency. Some things you ask for may arrive in weeks, others in hours, depending on how much vibrational coherence you can maintain. You are not waiting for the universe. The universe is waiting for you to align. Spiritual physics does not fail. because it is merely the scientific translation of an eternal truth already inscribed in the Word. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself strolling through a garden where every seed planted is a desire of yours. Some have already blossomed, others are sprouting, and some are still hidden beneath the earth. The gardener is God, but how you tend to the soil is what determines the timing and strength of each harvest. Vibrational identity is the bridge connecting your desire to the fulfillment of the promise in Psalm 37:4. If the verse states, "He will grant the desires of your heart," it signifies that manifestation occurs not through an anxious mind, but through an aligned heart. Your heart here refers not merely to emotion, but to your vibrational field, your essence. Ask yourself, who do I need to be to receive? By already living in the state of answered desire, you are, in practice, delighting in the Lord. And this constant vibration sends a clear signal: you are ready to receive. The Bible is unambiguous in Proverbs 23:7. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. This is not merely moralistic advice, it is an energetic principle. Your thoughts, emotions, and deeply held beliefs forge the vibrational signature that the universe recognizes. When there is congruence between what you ask for, what you feel, and what you believe, there is alignment. And within alignment, manifestation becomes effortless. Now tell me, are you asking for prosperity while internally you still think like someone living in scarcity? Are you asking for love while still believing you're unworthy of it? This is where many people get stuck. Psalm 37:4 speaks of delighting in the Lord, but if your inner self still vibrates with fear and lack, the delight is not complete. It's like trying to fill a vessel with a hole in the bottom. Eva Hartley teaches that changing your vibrational identity is akin to updating software. It's futile to merely change the wallpaper if the system is still running an outdated program. This is why Jesus said, "No one sews a patch of new cloth on an old garment," Matthew 9:16. You must renew your mind, update your beliefs, and don the new identity before the miracle manifests physically. Practice for today. Write 3 sentences describing the person who is already living what you desire. For example, "I am a prosperous person who blesses others with abundance." Read these sentences every day, looking yourself in the eye in the mirror. This creates a new mental and energetic reference point. Over time, your body and mind will begin to accept this as truth, and reality will start to align. Vibrational identity is akin to an access code. When you embody the version of yourself that has already received the miracle, all of your decisions, words, and feelings begin to mirror that state. The universe doesn't respond to your request. It responds to your vibration. And this is precisely why certain individuals appear to attract with such ease. They aren't merely playing a part. They have become the part. Bombshell revelation. If your identity doesn't change, the miracle might arrive, but you won't be able to sustain it. This is why so many people quickly lose opportunities, relationships, or money. They weren't vibrationally prepared to maintain what they received. And since we're going to discuss how to prepare this internal framework, in the next chapter, you'll understand the law of divine preparation and how it anticipates every manifestation. You are about to discover why God often holds you back before releasing you to what you've asked for, and how this isn't a delay, but strategic protection. Imagine an archer poised to release their arrow. Before letting it fly, they draw the bowstring back, creating tension. To the untrained eye, it appears as if they are retreating, but in reality, they are gathering momentum to reach further. Such is divine preparation. The apparent delay is merely the moment God adjusts the perfect angle for you to hit the mark with precision. Before any visible manifestation, there is a period when God works behind the scenes. Psalm 37:23 reminds us, "The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord." This signifies that the path is meticulously prepared before the destination is delivered. Eva Hartley refers to this stage as silent alignment, when everything appears stagnant, but in reality, it is being architected with flawless precision. What we refer to as waiting is often the most strategic phase of the process. It is during this period that God removes what could obstruct your miracle and strengthens what will sustain it. If you were to receive it before your appointed time, you might not be ready to handle the responsibilities, the changes, and even the trials that accompany the blessing. Quantum physics would call this a fine-tuning of frequency. Now tell me, have you ever experienced times when you felt like everything was against you, only to discover later that you were actually being guided towards something better? That's the principle of pruning. Jesus said in John 15:2, "Every branch in me that bears fruit, he prunes, so that it may bear more fruit." Divine preparation is that pruning, not to weaken you, but so that you may bear more fruit for a longer time. Eva Hartley asserts that at this stage, it is crucial to maintain a state of gratitude rather than frustration. When you express gratitude, even without tangible results, you maintain a receptive frequency. Conversely, complaining plunges you into a frequency of resistance. It's akin to telling the universe, "I am not yet ready to receive." Remember, preparation is not a punishment, it is a form of care. God is refining your inner self so that you may be capable of sustaining the manifestation. Practice for today. Write down 3 areas of your life where you feel you are waiting. Now, next to each one, note how this waiting might be strengthening you. Perhaps you are learning patience, developing skills, or healing old wounds. This simple shift in perspective transforms anxiety into confidence and doubt into faith. What Eva Hartley refers to as silent alignment is what the Bible describes as a season and a time for every activity under the heavens. Ecclesiastes 3:1. No matter how much you attempt to expedite matters, there exists a perfect timing for every manifestation. The crucial insight is to leverage waiting as a period of cultivation rather than erosion. Those who grasp this concept cease to perceive delays and instead recognize strategic opportunities. A bombshell revelation. When it seems like God is holding you back, He's not denying your request. He's positioning you to receive in a way that nothing and no one can take away. That's why in the next chapter, we'll delve into how the energy of expectation shapes the speed and quality of manifestation, and how you can leverage this to accelerate what's on its way. Prepare yourself to grasp why what you anticipate and how you anticipate it can be as potent as the act of asking itself. Close your eyes and imagine yourself awaiting a special gift. You don't know the exact hour it will arrive, but you are certain it's on its way. Every sound of a door, every ring of the phone ignites a spark of joy. This is the power of expectation. It keeps your energy alight, your heart open, and your mind ready to recognize the moment of arrival. Psalm 37:4 reminds us that the act of delighting involves confident expectation. It's not hoping against hope. It's expecting with certainty. When you keep expectation in the right place, you activate the second part of the verse. He will give you the desires of your heart. Expectation is an antenna, and this antenna needs to be tuned to the frequency of a fulfilled promise. Whenever you feel anxiety or doubt, repeat mentally, "Delight yourself in the Lord. He will give you the desires of your heart." This repositions your focus, rebalances your vibration, and keeps your heart ready to receive. Maintain the vibration of certainty, even when nothing on the physical plane seems to have changed. Quantum physics posits that a state of expectation functions as an antenna, attuning its magnetic field to capture opportunities and synchronicities. When you live in anticipation of the best, you train your brain to perceive signals and pathways that corroborate your beliefs. This is science and spirituality coalescing to propel you toward your aspirations. Now let me ask you, do you live waiting for a miracle, or do you fear it will never arrive? Because negative expectation also creates delay and frustration. Philippians 4:6 instructs us, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." Gratitude is the framework for positive expectation. Connection moment. Tell me in the comments below, what topic would you like to see here on the channel in upcoming videos? It could be something you're seeking to understand about manifestation, faith, prosperity, or Psalms. Your participation helps me bring exactly what will transform your manifestation process, and also creates a collective energy current among everyone who watches. Practice for today. Choose a specific wish and spend the day acting as if it will manifest by the end of the week. Smile as if it's already on its way. Organize your schedule as if you're already ready to receive it. This attitude sends clear signals to your subconscious and the universe that you are in active reception mode. Eva Hartley teaches that expectation should be light, not anxious. Anxiety is trying to control the how and the when. Expectation is knowing it's already done and simply being aware to recognize its arrival. It's like setting the table before the guest arrives. You don't stare at the clock every minute, you just trust they will come. Bombshell revelation: many manifestations don't arrive because the person asks and then lives waiting for the worst. The energy of expectation is a continuous field of attraction, and when it's interrupted by fear or doubt, the flow decelerates. In the next chapter, we'll discuss how to transform resistance into acceleration so that nothing gets stuck on the path to your manifestation. You will learn how to recognize and remove the invisible blocks that are often hidden within your own thought patterns. Removing the invisible blocks to manifestation. Imagine running towards your goal, feeling the wind in your face, energy surging, until, all of a sudden, you trip over something you didn't see. That something wasn't large, but it was there, concealed. Such are invisible blocks, small beliefs, words, and habits that you don't even register, yet they are perpetually hindering the arrival of your miracle. The Bible admonishes us in Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Here, heart refers to the core of your beliefs and emotions. Eva Hartley explains that these impediments can be concealed within phrases you habitually repeat without conscious awareness, such as, "I can't," "It's not for me," or "These things just don't work for me." Such pronouncements create fissures in your energetic resonance. Quantum physics confirms that every belief functions as a perceptual filter. If you believe something is difficult, your brain will selectively gather evidence to corroborate that notion. This automatic selection constrains your field of vision and prevents you from perceiving opportunities that are already readily available. It is akin to wearing dark-tinted spectacles and lamenting the overcast weather. Now tell me, how many times have you begun a manifestation process and midway through allowed doubt to creep in? That doubt is like sand in the gears of a clock. A little is all it takes to seize up the entire mechanism. Psalm 37:4 reminds us that the key is to delight in the Lord, not to foster anxiety. However, to achieve this, one must identify and dismantle the beliefs that undermine their faith. Eva Hartley teaches a technique called conscious substitution. Whenever a limiting thought or phrase arises, you immediately replace it with an affirmation aligned with your desire. For example, swap "I can't" with "I am learning to receive." This isn't mere positive thinking, it's neural reprogramming. Each substitution forges new connections in the brain and weakens old patterns. Practice for today. Take a piece of paper and write down all the phrases you repeat to yourself about money, love, health, or purpose. Then rewrite each one in a positive and aligned way. Read these new phrases aloud every day. Initially, it may feel artificial, but over time, your subconscious will accept and transform it into a new reality. Removing invisible blockages isn't an overnight process. It's akin to purifying murky water. You must continuously filter it until it becomes crystal clear. The crucial point is not to blame yourself for old thoughts. Simply acknowledge them and replace them. Remember, you are not your thoughts, but rather the observer who can choose which ones to retain. Bombshell revelation: 80% of people who don't manifest their desires fail not due to a lack of faith, but because they maintain active unconscious blocks. In the next chapter, we will discuss how to create an internal and external environment that fosters continuous manifestation so that you permanently live in the flow of receiving. You will discover how to align your mind, your emotions, and even your physical space to become a magnet for everything you desire. Removing blockages with the psalm as a guide. Imagine planting a rare and precious seed. It holds the potential to become a magnificent leafy tree, but if the soil is dry, infested, or choked with stones, that seed will never sprout. This is how it is with your desires. Simply planting them in your heart is insufficient. You must cultivate a fertile environment, both internal and external, for them to grow and blossom. Often, what hinders manifestation is not a lack of faith, but the presence of internal blockages. Psalm 37:4 does not state, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart," unless. The promise is unconditional, yet its reception is impeded by our own resistances. As you recall this verse, visualize yourself surrendering each blockage to God, your fears, limiting beliefs, resentments. This is part of delighting yourself, creating space within your heart for Him to bestow His gifts. The more space you release, the more swiftly the promise materializes. The external environment also exerts a direct influence. Quantum physics posits that everything around you emits a frequency that interacts with yours. A cluttered space filled with broken items or objects imbued with negative memories can drain your energy. Conversely, a clean, organized, and harmonized environment enhances mental clarity and elevates your vibrational frequency. Now tell me, how is your environment today? Does the place where you live and work inspire abundance, or does it convey scarcity? Are you surrounded by people who strengthen your faith or who undermine it with negative words? Psalm 1:1 already warned us not to walk in the counsel of the wicked, because the human environment is also the soil for our seed. Eva Hartley suggests creating anchors in your environment, affirmative phrases on the wall, objects that symbolize what you desire, music that elevates your vibration. This isn't superstition, it's associative mental programming. Each time you see or hear these elements, you reinforce the frequency of your desire and keep your mind attuned. Practice for today. Designate a corner of your home as your manifestation space. Keep it consistently clean and organized. Place images, words, or objects within it that represent your goals. Utilize this space for prayer, meditation, or visualization. Over time, your body and mind will associate this location with elevated states of vibration, facilitating access to the flow of manifestation. Remember, you are both the gardener and the soil. If your inner self is fertile, but your external environment is in disarray, growth will be limited. Conversely, if the external environment is immaculate, but you cultivate fear and doubt within, the seed will also fail to grow. True alignment occurs when the internal and external communicate in the same vibrational language. Mind-blowing revelation. Environments carry energetic imprints. If you wish to transform your life, begin by altering the environment in which your vibration is nourished daily. In the next chapter, we will explore how to harness the power of repetition to sustain your vibrational field at its highest level, until manifestation becomes inevitable. Transition to the next chapter. You will learn to train your mind and energy through repetitive practices that embed the manifestation pattern into your daily life. The power of repetition to sustain manifestation. Consider how one learns to play an instrument, drive a car, or speak a new language. In the beginning, everything feels foreign, almost impossible. But with daily repetition, the movements become second nature. Manifestation is precisely the same. You must train your mind and energy until thinking, feeling, and acting as if you have already received becomes automatic. The Bible reminds us in Joshua 1:8, "Meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful." The instruction is clear. Constancy transforms faith into results. Eva Hartley calls this vibrational immersion, continuously exposing yourself to the frequency of what you desire until it becomes your natural state. Neuroscience explains that repetition creates and strengthens neural connections. Each time you visualize, affirm, and act in accordance with your goal, you are reinforcing the vibrational pattern that attracts that objective. It's akin to carving a path in the brain. Initially, it's merely a trail, but with constant use, it transforms into a paved road along which energy flows unimpeded. Now tell me, do you spend more time nurturing your faith or reinforcing your fears? Because every repeated thought is a watered seed. If you repeat worries, you cultivate roots of scarcity. If you repeat images and words of abundance, you cultivate roots of prosperity. Psalm 37:4 has already taught us to cultivate delight in the Lord, and repetition is the practical way to keep that delight alive. Eva Hartley suggests creating sustaining rituals, small daily practices that keep your energetic field elevated. This could involve repeating affirmations in the morning, visualizing your goal before sleep, or daily journaling of 3 things you are grateful for. The crucial aspect is consistency, because it is consistency that cultivates a stable vibrational identity. Practice for today. Choose a short, powerful affirmation that encapsulates what you desire. For example, I am worthy and live in divine abundance. Repeat this phrase 21 times in the morning and 21 times in the evening, feeling each word as if it were already true. This simple practice, done with emotion, reprograms the subconscious and keeps your vibration aligned. The secret to repetition is that it transforms effort into naturalness. Initially, you must remember. Subsequently, it becomes an intrinsic part of your being. And when manifestation becomes second nature to your mind, it ceases to be something you pursue and evolves into something you embody. This is where faith transmutes into physical evidence. Explosive revelation. It is not the intensity of a single day of faith that brings the miracle, but the constancy of a faith nourished every day. In the next chapter, we will discuss the crucial role of inspired action, because without movement, even the best vibration can remain stagnant. Prepare to discover how to transform signals and intuitions into concrete steps that accelerate the arrival of your manifestation. Removing blocks with the psalm as a guide. Imagine yourself on a dock, gazing at a boat that embodies your dream. It is ready, provisioned, and anchored. The current is favorable. The wind blows in the right direction. However, if you do not board and cast off the lines, the boat will never depart. Such is the nature of manifestation. It requires action to transition from the invisible realm to the visible. Manifesting and receiving is not about passive waiting. Psalm 37:4 begins with, "Delight yourself," an active verb. It is about living in joy, peace, and faith while acting congruently with what you desire. Every inspired action is an affirmation that you believe in the promise He will grant. By taking action, you are communicating to the universe and to God, "I am ready to receive what is already mine in the spiritual world." This synergy of delight and movement inevitably unlocks the doors of manifestation. Quantum physics describes this as collapsing the wave function through interaction. The energy is present, potentiated, but requires an act to materialize. This act doesn't need to be monumental. It could be a phone call, an email, a shift in your routine, or even organizing your space to be receptive. Small, coherent actions generate significant momentum. Now tell me, how many times have you felt an inner calling to do something and put it off? More often than not, that's precisely the opportunity that opens doors to manifestation. Psalm 37:5 complements what we've already seen in verse 4. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in Him, and He will act. To commit is to act with confidence, not merely to wait. Eva Hartley calls it a dance with the universe. You take a step and the universe responds. This exchange cultivates a continuous flow. Without concrete steps, the flow stagnates. With aligned steps, it accelerates. And each action reinforces your vibrational identity as you begin to embody the person who already possesses what you desire. Practice for today. Choose a specific goal and take an action that brings you closer to it today. This could be studying something, contacting someone, investing in a resource, or creating a simple plan. Before acting, align your energy with gratitude so that the action stems not from scarcity, but from certainty. When you act inspired, you're not merely going through the motions, you're responding to an inner calling. It's as if God is guiding you step by step, even if you don't grasp the entire path ahead. Faith perceives the next move, and manifestation unfolds as you journey forward. Explosive revelation. Most manifestations fail not due to a lack of prayer or visualization, but rather a deficit of coherent action. In the next chapter, we will consolidate everything we've covered thus far and demonstrate how to perpetually reside within the flow of manifesting and receiving, ensuring you never again revert to the cycle of asking and seeing no results. Now is the time to connect all the principles and understand how to remain in the vibrational and spiritual state that keeps the flow perpetually open. Living in the perpetual flow of manifesting and receiving, envision a pristine river flowing unhindered, carrying fresh water to all it touches. Now imagine you are that river, and manifestation is the water. While the flow is unimpeded, abundance is ceaseless. However, when stones and obstacles are introduced, the current falters. To live in perpetual flow is to keep this river clean and in motion. Psalm 37 revealed the foundation to us: delighting in the Lord, maintaining faith, aligning one's vibrational identity, trusting in divine timing, and acting with inspired action. Eva Hartley showed us that manifestation is not an isolated event, but a continuous state, and quantum physics confirmed that when you maintain a high frequency, the universe responds ceaselessly. The permanent flow occurs when all the elements we learn become habit: daily delight, positive expectation, removal of roadblocks, aligned environment, repetition, and inspired action. It is the sum of these practices that creates a magnetic field so stable that nothing can pull away what is destined for you. Now tell me, are you ready to live in this state every single day, or will you continue to dip in and out of it based on circumstances? Because here's the truth: flow isn't dependent on the external world. It's dependent on you staying attuned to the source. The more consistent your vibration, the more abundant your flow will be. Eva Hartley teaches that living in this flow is akin to breathing: natural, continuous, and essential. It's not about striving to create, but about allowing what already exists in the potential field to manifest into the physical. This is where manifestation ceases to be an effort and becomes a way of life. Practice for today. Select a time during your day to mentally review each of the principles we've learned. Ask yourself, did I delight today? Did I maintain my expectation? Did I remove blocks? Is my environment aligned? Did I repeat my practices? Did I act inspired? This daily self-assessment keeps the river clean and the flow open. Living in the flow means understanding that manifestation isn't a destination, but a journey. It's the sum of daily decisions, conscious thoughts, and aligned actions. When you grasp this, you stop waiting for something to happen and begin actively co-creating your reality in partnership with the divine. Bombshell revelation: if you consistently apply these principles, you will reach a point where it's no longer about manifesting something. It's about choosing, receiving, and living. At the close of this video, I'll show you how this Bible verse is, in fact, a key to unlocking every area of your life. Now let us authoritatively conclude this teaching and open the door to your next transformation. Did you realize that today wasn't just a message, it was a code? A spiritual and vibrational map for you to live Psalm 37:4 like never before. Now you know that delighting in the Lord isn't about anxious waiting, but about aligning yourself to the frequency of a fulfilled promise. You know that expectation is an antenna, that blockages need to be removed, that your environment is fertile ground, and that inspired action is the bridge that leads from the invisible to the visible. I want you to take this into your life starting today. You are not waiting for the universe. The universe is waiting for you to align. When that happens, Nothing and no one will be able to impede the flow of manifestation. Remember, the promise isn't "He may grant," it is "He will grant." It is written. It is spiritual law. It is vibrational law. Now tell me here in the comments, what was the most powerful insight you had from this video? I want to hear from you, and with your participation, create the next chapters of this 30-day journey. Your experience could be the word someone else needs to unlock their own miracle. If this content touched your heart, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. That way you ensure you won't miss the upcoming teachings, and I can guarantee you the next one will profoundly shift your perception of God's timing and the speed of manifestation. I am your name, and I'm here to remind you every day, you have not been forgotten. You are being prepared. Waiting is not lost time. Pruning precedes the harvest. Keep holding firm, because what is yours already has form and is in a state of becoming. See you in the next video of our 30-day series. Until then, keep your vibrational field elevated, live in the delight of the Lord, and manifest that for which you were born.